Well, we're gonna go ahead and talk while I'm working on the cameras because they're acting crazy today. So that's all right. I'll get everything together. Well, in the studio right now we have Dr. Charlene Smith. Good morning.
Good morning.
So how you doing this morning?
I'm doing just great.
She's sitting over there like she's shy. And I mean, she does. She's sitting over there like she's shy, so I got to bring that to her attention. You are not shy.
No, I'm not.
Okay, okay. So you have done this book, Senior Seeking Soulmate. But before we go there, give us a little bit of background about yourself.
Okay, well, I'm recently retired, been retired for 2 years. I spent 32 years as a federal employee, and before that, I was a military police person in the Army, and I have gone to school. I didn't go to school right away after high school. I got married and had a baby right off the bat, so I was a young mama. Ended up being a single parent for a while. But I always wanted to have a fantasy love life. I'll
Ooh.
put it that way. So I love love and have always loved love. My parents were very loving. They were 56 years married, and they used to tickle me when my mom would get upset. My dad would look at her and just say, "Okay, Dreamboat, just calm down." And she would just melt.
Oh,
And so
wow.
they were a great example. They didn't always have the best of times. They did show me that marriage is not always wonderful and sparkly times, but they hung in there together for 56 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it was amazing. So they were a great example about what love is. And as I've gone through life, I've always looked for love and looking for that love that I feel I deserve, and have learned many, many, many lessons. And over the years, my girlfriends have always come to me and asked me about relationships because I have studied relationships. I've taken psychology classes. I was a counselor at one point. So relationships have always been interesting to me. Well, when I retired, I got a little bored and I wrote a list out one day of what were the things that I wanted to accomplish. One of them was to write a book. So I contacted a publisher and we worked through some things and came up with this book about seeking soulmate. And the title has to do with, since we're talking about seniors, and seniors is, as AARP says, when you turn 50, that's your first benchmark of being a senior. And then, of course, Social Security and those kinds of things start to happen after 50. So in talking with her, we came up with Senior Seeking Soulmate because back in the day when newspapers were pretty abundant, they always had classified ads.
Yes.
So anyone over 50 would remember classified ads. And it would be a short little intro, so that's why it's Senior Seeking Soulmate. It says a lot. The seeking part is that you are available, and although you're a senior, you still are seeking love. Now, soulmate at this age may not necessarily be a marriage, but it could be a long-term companionship because when we mature, our standards change. So, I was telling you the other day about the twinkly, twirly 20s
Yes.
and the sexy, sensual seniors. So, when you're in your 20s, first of all, you go out at 10 o'clock, but when you're seniors, you've probably been in the bed already by 10 o'clock.
At home by 10.
At home by 10 and probably in the bed sleep, doing that slobbery kind of snoring sleep by 10 o'clock. And so, but when you go out, you know, in your 20s, they're looking, oh, look at that six pack. Oh, look at this, look at that. Oh, he fine. P-H-I-N-E, he fine. You know, but when you're the seniors, it's like, are they using a walker? Do they have cane? What kind of medications are they taking?
Yeah.
So it changes up quite a bit. So when you become senior, you may or may not be interested in marriage, may have done that and decided you don't want to do it again, and that's okay. But people that are in companionship and relationships, they live longer. Have you heard of the villages in Florida?
Yes.
Yes. They've done a study on the people there. And the people there that have companionship, that socialize, that are active, they live 5 years longer in retirement than people that live at home by themselves. So being active, again, is relative. But when you go to the villages, you'll see them playing golf. They have dances at night. They do all kinds of wonderful things that keep them moving and flexible.
Yes.
So I have a friend who's 80, and she has a friend. They've been together for 3 years now, but they just travel together. They go to dinner, they go to breakfast, they do all those things together, but there's no sexual intimacy in the relationship because of health problems on both sides. But they love each other, and they have a great time, and they laugh a lot. So I have an aunt who told me the difference between love and in love. I experienced with my last husband where he told me he was no longer in love with me, and I didn't understand what that meant.
Yeah.
But she gave me the example that love is that you care for a person, that they are important to you, they are significant in your life, but when you're in love, it's all of that, but then you are willing to do anything for that person. And she said with her friend, she's 86, with her friend, she is not willing to do anything. She had a husband of 48 years that she would do anything for.
Right.
But this companion, she loves him, she cares about him, but she would not do anything. So she is not in love with him. So I was like, okay, that's a pretty good definition.
Yeah.
So what I talk about in my book is becoming the partner that you desire. So there's a lot of process to that. So I got into this because friends were always asking me about relationships, and you would think that I might not be the best person to ask that, but one of the things that I know is that I love me, and I'm not going to put up with just anything. And in a little bit, I'll share some of my story with you. But I've decided, okay, I'm retired. I've got all this time on my hands. So I'm going to write a book, and that's how Seniors Seeking Soulmate came about.
Wow. I'm just, now you told me how it came about. And you're right. In a newspaper, they always had it in the classified ads in there. Because I remember that's where we found our jobs too.
Yeah, see, you're dating yourself too.
Yeah, I know I am. So you youngsters out there, you don't know what a classified ad is, look it up. I mean, I had my granddaughter ask, Grandpa, what's that thing with that long cord on it? I said, that's a telephone. Y'all use that? Yes. She act like I was arcaded, and like I had a hammer and chisel to get the message across. But this thing about soulmate, that is so powerful by itself, because what you said, a lot of people are single right now. Not a lot, I'm talking about the ages, the seniors.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And all they want somebody to talk to, play cards with, have dinner with, and if it gets to be intimate, then it does, but they're not looking for that.
Right.
They're looking for somebody they can go out to lunch with, go to the movies with, hang out with, as you youngsters do nowadays. We still got it. But it's been a misconception on that. They said that when you seek a soulmate, that, how can I put it? I read it somewhere that you cannot fall back in love again. Once you have that, you just explained to us two different types of love, but they say it's hard for a senior to find that love again.
Well, here's the thing. You may not have the same kind of love that you had, especially those that were in long marriages. But each love, each relationship is unique. and you're never too old for love. And that's why I talk about that things change from being that twinkly, twirly teen to the sexy senior. Senior. So my friend that I was talking about, how she has companionship, she was married to her husband for about 45 years. And that was the love of her life. And it took her several years to be willing to get out and start dating again. But now, when she introduces her partner now, she says, this is the second love of my life. It's very different from the first, but she has love again in her life, and she's having a fantastic time. And that's the way it is for most seniors. No, you may have had the love of your life, but you can have a second love of your life.
Yeah. Okay, well, that makes a lot of sense right there, because you got to have that. You know what I see coming up, I watch some seniors that, I'm going to go back to when I retired. When I retired, well, I didn't retire, I'm right back here at this radio station, so, but I see people retire, and they sit there and wither away. And if they lose their wife or husband, they fall into this depressed mode, and within a year or two, they pass away too. But you gotta stay active. Now, what keep me active, not only this station, I got some grandkids that utilize my time 24 hours a day. I'm telling you, right now, they will call, what you doing? No, what do you want? That's how I reply back. But the point I'm getting at, we have to stay active and doing things that we're doing. So you lost your first love. So is it wrong for somebody to run back into a relationship real quick and try to get married again to redeem that first love? Because to me, you won't ever get that first love back again.
Well, again, each relationship is unique, and it takes time to get over that loss. Now, the loss may not just be due to death, it might be divorce, because the baby boomer generation, we are the first generation to have multiple marriages and divorces. And each time you have a loss, be it death or divorce, you have to give yourself time to regenerate yourself, get through that process of grief, and work on you and get yourself so that you can understand that you still are worthy of love. You still are a beautiful person. You still have value in this world. And that kind of ties into some of the myths that social media has told us over the years. And that message has been, once you get a certain age, you're not attractive, you're not able to do things. How dare you get out there and date again? All of these negative messages, but this is the best time of our lives. We're seniors. Most of us have some type of financial stability. We have a certain amount of intelligence still going on. We might not remember where we put our keys, but we still have a certain amount of brain power that's happening. And, we still have a lot to contribute. We may not be the fastest person at work, but guess what? We're wise, and we probably have experienced what some of the younger people are going on, and we can be mentors. Now, I said, how dare they date? I experienced with one of my supervisors, his mother-in-law was in her 80s, and she came to visit with them, and she was online dating. And he was like, can you believe that she is dating at 80-something years old? And I'm like, she's living her best life. Because at this point, you don't have any children at home you have to worry about. You don't have to worry about getting pregnant. You don't have to worry about reporting to somebody. You can live your life the way you want to. Another friend of mine, she's in her 70s, and she said, I do what I want to do when I want to do it if I want to do it. And that's one of the beautiful things about being a senior. So getting out there, being active is important. Getting out there and being of value, contributing to younger people, contributing to the community. Right now I'm doing voter registration.
Yes.
Everybody is energized now, and regardless of who you vote for, the thing is, go and vote, because your vote does make a difference. So I'm out there. I got my T-shirts that say vote. I got the voter registration papers and everything. I'm a volunteer deputy registrar. So for the next 96 days, I'm going to be out there talking about vote, vote, vote. Get registered. And then once you're registered, go vote. There's no reason not to vote. VIA is going to have free transportation on
Yes.
election day. All you have to do is show your voter registration card. In order to have your voter registration card, you got to be registered. But you can get free transportation to the polls. Now, that's saying something. Several organizations are going to be providing transportation. And if you're not part of an organization, when you go, take a neighbor, take a few people. Get your 18-year-olds registered to vote. If they're going off to college, get them to have an absentee vote. So see, there's things out there that we can do.
Right.
I may only affect maybe 5 or 6 people and get them to go vote, but that's 5 or 6 votes that are more than if no one went out there.
Exactly.
So contributing, some people belong to churches. You know, just if you go and take on a few younger people and mentor them, help them understand that, you know, the world can be very cruel out there, but there's some things you can do to still advance and prosper and make your life valuable. So I read something about generations not too long ago, and I always get the names of the generations mixed up. But the younger generations, the like 18 to 30-year-olds, they really trust what we call the traditionals, which are the late 70s and 80s. So
Right.
those that are in those age groups, there's somebody that's just looking for guidance, looking for some mentorship. You know, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, Jack and Jill, there's all kind of organizations out there that can benefit from the wisdom of seniors. So yes, there's a lot that we can do. And you know, I'm going to always talk about voting,
Right.
you know, until we get there to the day,
Yep. November 5th.
November 5th.
I wish this was November 6th right now. We know everything because right now, I'm telling you, I'm just waiting. Put it that way. Because if I say my opinion, they say, "What's wrong with Ron? Is he crazy?" No, I'm not. It's just you see the same old thing over and over again. You get tired of seeing the same old negative stuff. I wish for once a politician would get up there and talk about what they're running for.
That would be wonderful.
That's what I'm hoping. Tell us what you're running for. What are you going to do for our community instead of bad mouthing your opponent? We already know you don't like them. We already know that. Just tell us what are you going to do for our community. That will be a refresher.
Yes.
That will be just like somebody said, I went to a hockey game last night and the game broke out. And people said, what do you mean by that? Because hockey, they fight all the time. That's all I say is fight. You go to a hockey game, a game broke out. Wow, that's what we need. A jolt of what's going on. Now I'm going to switch gears on you.
Okay.
You ready?
All right.
All right. Off camera, we were talking about having a dating game. And I said, I could think of 6 people to sign up right away for that. That's the same ones that's telling me. So, Ron, are you sure you having that on your show? I said, yeah, why? Well, I'm a senior. You got a boyfriend or girlfriend? No. Do you go out anytime? No. Well, what do? Sit at the house? Well, you need to listen to this show today.
Time to get out.
Yeah,
Right.
Dr. Smith will get you out there. So if it was a type of dating game, do you have some things set in place that you would like to see in a dating game?
Yeah, I've been planning it for about the last 6 months, trying to figure out the logistics of it. But basically, there would be a few. I'll just give an example. So, like two guys and 2 women, and each one of the contestants. So that would be 4 contestants. Each one of the contestants would interview 3 people, like the old dating match game.
Yeah.
So they would interview those 3 people, and they would select one, and then they would go on a date, and we would follow them on the date. And so that would be 4 dates that we would follow on. And some of the dates might be going out to like the Japanese tea gardens. It might be going to a museum. It might be going to one of the nightclubs, or, go out to dinner. But we would follow them, and then we would give them some time to see if they want to continue dating. And then we would follow up a few months later to see how that friendship develops, if it develops. So, so I'm looking to get some logistics down, because I want to also be able to video the date. I want to be able to get some seniors that are willing to participate in the show. But that's kind of my basic concept, similar to the match game that was way back when on TV, similar to The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, in that they have little dating activities, little bit of matchmaking. We'll see who's got kind of things in common that might work. So it'll be a combination of things.
Oh, I would love to see that. I was told I had your book in front of me at the house, and my wife came in. So what is that book? I said, what does it say up front? And she said, oh. And I said, well, I got this young lady coming on the show. I said, if you listen to my show, you will know what's going on. She said, I listen to your show. I know exactly what's going on. I was waiting for you to say something. I said, what I'm going to say? Because she seen that book, and I started reading it. And then I got other books up there that she ain't even looked at. I got one young lady named the Lion Queen. She has a lot of poems in her book, which is very interesting. But get back to that right there. She said, so you're just interviewing. I said, yeah, that's all I'm doing. You want to come and see what we're doing over there? I'm just interviewing. Well, her curiosity was piqued about that, because me, myself, at the radio station, we go out and interview. It doesn't matter to me. And, but I do talk to people before I bring them on the show, because I'm not just bringing anybody on the show to talk crazy. Because I could talk crazy right back, but y'all don't want to see that. But is it hard for seniors to get back out there in the field?
No, but first of all, let me address her curiosity about the book. The book is focused on African American women over 50 wanting to get back out, but it's also a lot of information in there that works for couples also. So anyone is welcome to read the book, and anyone that's interested in relationship, be it single or married or in a long-term relationship, there's information in there like self-care, being the partner you desire, loving yourself. I also talk a little bit about having spiritual priorities. So there's a little bit of everything in there, and anyone can benefit from the book. Getting back to getting out there, it's rare that someone's just going to walk up on your doorstep and say, here I am, baby. So it's going to take getting out there. But what I advocate is that someone takes the time to become that partner they desire. And what that means, if you want someone that's financially secure, are you financially secure? If you want someone that's a practicing Christian, are you practicing your belief system? If you want someone that is healthy, and eventually I'll talk about some of the herbs and aromatherapy and natural healing, hydrotherapy, all those things you can do for self-care. But are you taking care of yourself? If you're diabetic, are you managing that with diet, or are you having to take medication? Are you exercising? Are you doing all these things that you desire in a partner? That's the first thing. And where a lot of seniors make a mistake is that once they're ready to get out there and they do meet someone, that first person they meet, they think this is a relationship, and you just met them. So there's a difference between dating and relationship. Dating is an exploration. Can you sit across from that person and have dinner with them? Do you have similar interests? Things like that. That's dating. Relationship involves a commitment. I had a client that got online, met somebody, they started dating, and then one day the gentleman told her that he was going to be going out with another lady, and she got upset. And I'm like, why are you upset? She goes, he's cheating on me. And I go, no. did you have the conversation about being in a committed relationship? She said, no. I said, you just met him. You've only gone out on about 6 dates. Where's the commitment discussion? We haven't had that. I said, so then you're not being cheated on. You're dating. Dating is different than relationship. Dating is a process. So if someone says, well, yeah, I'm dating several people, first thing that comes to somebody's mind is that I'm going to say it, they're being a hoe, but that's not the deal. That's not it. Dating is an exploration, and it doesn't have to involve sex. Now, at this age, if that's what you want to do on the first date, go for it. You're grown. But yeah. I recommend that people take time, first of all, to know what it is they're looking for in a partner, in a companion. Sometimes we just accept whoever comes along, and that's not for a good relationship. And so I actually have my clients write a list out of the desires of their heart, because when you write a list of what you want in a partner, then you're coming from a place of lack and a place of being needy. But when you look at the desires of your heart, that's coming from a healthy place, a place of wanting to enhance your life. I don't need a man. I would love to have a man in my life to enhance my life. That's the desire of my heart. That even feels different when you say it.
Yeah.
So the first thing is, what are the desires of your heart? Becoming that partner that you desire. And then I even do things like, what's your home look like? Is it cluttered? Is it clear? Is it comfortable? Is it inviting? What's your closet look like? Your closet kind of reflects your life. When my life is crazy and all, I'm not being organized and all that, my closet isn't all organized and stuff. It's a stressor for me. So I have to go and clean out my closet, reorganize my life, then things go a lot smoother. So having your home welcoming for a partner. Della Reese used to set her table for 2 people. Because she was visioning that she was going to have someone come to her table and have these meals with her. So a lot of visioning, a lot of preparing, organizing your home so that there's a positive flow in it. And then, I have some of my clients do a makeover. Maybe they're dressing with blue jeans and t-shirts. That's cool. I love blue jeans and t-shirts, but if you're going to go out, even if you're going to the grocery store, put a little lipstick on. Do a little something extra. Instead of tennis shoes, put some little flats or little kitten heels on.
Yeah.
Just something a little more, makes you feel better and gets the attention. Had a client say, I was in the grocery store and this guy, he kept ending up on the same aisle I was on. I felt like he was following me. I said, he was. What'd you say to him? She goes, well, I didn't say anything. I said, well, now you got to go back to the grocery store about the same time, same day, and see if that guy is there. And the next time, say, hello, how are you? I've been looking for such and such in the grocery store, even though you may know where it is, but start a conversation. You never know. Maybe that might not be the person, but they might lead you to a person. So, getting out there, like I said, right now, voter registration is important. Go out there. It takes about an hour and a half. You can get sworn in as a volunteer deputy registrar. Go out in the community, start passing out registration forms. There's a lot of things to do. Get active in church. Go to play pickleball. Just all kinds of stuff. Go to the gym. Even if you don't really want to work out in the gym, go to the gym and act like you're working out. Just get out. There are senior centers, just all kinds of things that you can do. You never know. I had one client, I said, don't be so closed, when she travels a lot. And so one day she had these suitcases and a guy came up to her and said, can I help you with your suitcase? Her first inclination was, no, I got it. Because we know we're independent women, we can do this for ourselves.
Right.
But being a woman, when a gentleman approaches you like that, say, oh, yes, sure. Now they started dating, just as a result of that.
Mm-hmm.
So, you never know where it's going to happen. But you have to be out there. You have to take care of yourself. You have to be safe being out there. And if you decide to date online, you have to be safe doing that. And I have a lot of safety tips for that. We could do a whole show just on online dating, just with the stories alone, because there's some crazy folks out there online. But there's some good folks out there too.
But it's the crazy ones that make the other ones look bad.
Yeah, unfortunately, but I do teach my clients how to sort through the crazies and how to identify if it's a scam right off the bat. So, there's a lot of things you can do to be safe.
So you mentioned clients. So walk us through somebody comes see you. What do you start off with, a questionnaire, or what is it you do?
Well, I do an interview initially to find out what their dating history is, some of the reasoning they want to get back into the dating process again, and what are their goals? Is it to get married? Is it just to have someone to travel with? Is it someone to go to the movies and dinner? So I do sort of an interview to find out what it is they're wanting out of dating. Do they want the dating to go into a relationship? And then once they decide that, then we go through a mini course where we go through all the things I talked about. What's the desires of your heart? Where are you being the partner that you desire? And where are you not the partner that you desire? And then we go through a makeover if that's what is, what we come up with through the process. But to get that person ready with confidence to go out there and to be safe and to find a partner, be it, like I say, companionship, relationship, marriage, and then I coach through that. So if someone goes out on the date and they have the VIP package, there's a little app where they can do like a walkie-talkie. So they could go to the bathroom and say, hey, they're saying such and such and such and such. What do I say? And then I can say, hey, we'll go do da-da-da-da. And, so I'm actually on the date with them. But also, if they don't want to do the VIP, they can say, hey, I'm going to go to the Starbucks on Tuesday at 12 o'clock. And I'll say, okay. I said, if anything happens, you can give me a call. But just let somebody know where you are all the time, being
Right.
safe. So I do a lot of different things. We go through the book. So, there's a lot of different parts of it. And if there's some health issues or some areas of improvement, I may do some referrals to a personal trainer, or like I do the herbs. I sell herbs and aromatherapy, and I may offer some herbs and vitamins and supplements to take to help with the health aspect of it. So there's a lot of different parts to it. It's a whole process. It's a real coaching. It's like when you have a football coach or a baseball coach, they look at all aspects to make sure that that athlete is ready to go out and compete. So that involves emotional, physical, spiritual. It involves the whole thing, social, all of it.
Wow. So I like the point you hit back that not only you helping on a date, but you looking at nutrition wise and all this stuff. So you cover a lot of things, and it's just not just finding soulmate. It's keeping that soulmate healthy and doing things right too. Because you can't come there. I remember years ago I was told this, that there's a difference between a girl, a young lady, and a woman. And they said a girl will just don't care what she has on, what she want to do. A woman, a young lady will only get made up because somebody's coming over. But a woman is ready all the time. When she wake up in the morning, she got her face done, everything's done, she dressed, because she never know what's going to happen that day. Is that a nice way of putting it? I heard this from a woman. It ain't come from a man's standpoint. I heard it from a woman.
Well, see, that dates us. Okay?
Yeah, I know. But we all talk about our seniors though, so they ought to know.
Yes. Well, but here's the deal. Us seniors, we can learn from the younger generations. And that whole thing sounds like a 50s definition to me. Because in the 50s, they had where the woman would wake up and, all these advertisements. She's got a dress on, her hair is, every hair is in place. And, it was an unrealistic expectation. And so now it's okay not to wear makeup. It's okay to wear your hair natural. It's okay to wear a t-shirt and blue jeans. But if I were to add to that definition, I would say being ready means that you're emotionally ready, you're physically ready, you're spiritually ready, financially ready, socially ready. And then there is this inner glow, and I teach people how to radiate. It's radiate to attract your soulmate. And so when you radiate, you don't have to have the makeup on, but you're smiling, and there's a whole attitude about it. So to me, that is what a woman is. She's radiating from the inside. She's healthy, she's spiritual, she's ready for life. The other definition that you used indicates that they're ready for a man. And we have to be whole within ourselves as women. And then that is what can attract a man. Now, if that's what you're looking for, because we do have the LBG, all the alphabet.
Yeah.
But ready for a partner, you will radiate from the inside out.
So, I got a question. You said radiate.
Mm-hmm.
How would a man know that the woman is doing that? How would they know?
Okay, there is a actual energetic exchange that happens. Now, this might sound a little woo-woo to some people, but one of my clients, I taught her how to radiate, and again, it's about being healthy and whole from inside out. There is a radiation. One client, she said, okay, I'm going to practice this radiating, and she went to the drugstore, and she said this young guy kept talking to her and stuff, and he finally asked her for her phone number. And she said, baby, you're too young for me. So she came back and she said, okay, I radiated, but I attracted this young guy who's too young. I said, okay, we have to look at your affirmations, and we have to start thinking more about what is it that you're wanting, that you want to attract. So we adjusted it. She went out one night, and the next day she called me. She says, how I turn this thing off, because I had all these people asking me for my phone number. And so I was like, okay, so we have to readjust again. But there is an actual energetic thing that happens with radiating. A friend of mine said that her husband told her that he was attracted to her because she had this glow. And he was across the room, and he actually walked across the room to come and talk to her because she was the only one there that had that glow.
Oh.
Yes. So there is actually an energetic thing that happens with radiating, but it happens when you're healthy and you're happy and you're joyful from inside out.
That's good. You gotta be. You gotta love yourself, or you can love somebody else.
Amen.
You can't sit back and say, whoa, what's wrong with you? Well, look at you. You wake up negative. You go to bed negative.
Yeah.
Try being positive sometimes. Well, speaking about that, it's positive energy is the best thing, because people could feed off positive energy with somebody. You know it right away. Like for me, interviewing, it's that chemistry that I feel. It's a chemistry out there. I don't know what it is, but you could bounce off. You could talk to that person,
Mm-hmm.
and they know what you're talking about. Now, out there dating, even though you're not talking yet, but sometimes you could set up this positive bubble around you that everybody in the world want to talk to you,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's a good thing.
Well, yeah. Part of my story is that for many years I was closed. I mean, literally closed. I would sit like this, closed. I didn't want nobody to talk to me, look at me, come by me, and if you did, you got this look because I was closed. I didn't want nobody talking to me, and my body language reflected it. But now when I go out, I'm comfortable. I sit back, I smile, and there's this little thing that they talk about, the flirting. Is like, if I see somebody that's attractive, I'll look over there, and then I'll look back, and then I'll look back over there and look a little bit longer so that they know that, yes, I'm looking at you.
Okay.
what do they call it? The walk of shame for guys. When they walk all the way across the room and go and ask somebody to dance and that person says no, then they have to turn back around and go and do that walk of shame. Ladies, what's a dance?
Now I walk to the bar, I ain't
Yeah,
walk.
yeah,
I'll go
you
get me another
deflected,
drink.
yeah.
I give me another drink. I ain't gonna let my
Yeah.
boys see me getting
Yeah.
punked. No, man, I got us a drink, man. She was all right.
Yeah.
But you know what that is? You did say something good right there, because that young lady may be dancing in the chair, dancing on the wall. You go ask to dance, and they go no. I said, oh wow.
Yeah.
It's just a dance.
Just mean.
That may have been somebody you want to be with.
Don't know.
But you pass it up.
Yeah, and you're right. I have a friend that, because I tell you, my friends talk to me all the time about this stuff. She met her husband. They were both in college, and they went to a dance. And he asked her to dance, and she said okay. She kind of, was hesitant about it, but she said okay. They danced, and then she said she danced with him again. And then he asked her for her phone number, and she said no, she wasn't giving him her phone number, and she left. That dude tracked her down.
Ooh.
Yes, he found her. He wasn't stalking her.
That's the next thing coming out of my
Yeah,
mouth.
no, he wasn't stalking her. But he wanted to find that woman that he danced with that night. And the community wasn't that large. They were in a college community and stuff. And he happened to see her, I think it was at like a hamburger place or something.
Yeah.
And then he sat down and he talked to her, and she ended up giving him her phone. Her phone number.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sometimes it happens like that. It happens. You track somebody down and you're together, or they call the police, say you stalking me.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel sort of bad nowadays for anybody who date, either male or female.
Yeah.
The way things are, because
It's tough.
who do you trust?
It's tough.
Before you could look at somebody and you could tell, okay, that's not a bad person. Nowadays, you look at not a bad person, then you go out on second date, and all of a sudden the real person comes out, and you say, Lord, let this date hurry up and end so I go home, because I don't want to see this fool again.
Well, you hope it's by the second date, but there's some folks out there that can play that game and be nice and sweet, for months. And you have to look for the red flags. And often it's because we're ignoring the red flags that it happens for so long. Because somebody will say, well, I talked to him for so long and I just didn't know. Oh, yeah, you knew. You just ignored it. So, things like this one guy that I made contact with online, we had a coffee date. Yeah, he was okay, but I always say try a second date. He was okay. And we were talking, and he was going over to Europe. So we did the WhatsApp thing, and he didn't call me. So finally I said, okay, I'm going to call him. So I called him. He didn't answer. He said, it's 4 o'clock in the morning here. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Forgot about the time distance. But then he didn't call me until it was late at night, my time. And so we would talk. And then when he got back, he called, but he only called late at night. And I'm like, why is he only calling late at night? So then I was like, all right, I called him. He wouldn't answer the phone during the day. So I'm like, something's up.
Yeah.
So eventually I told him, I said, well, I'm not going to go out with you again because you're acting like a married man. And he said, well, if you can't trust me, of course we can't have a relationship. I said, no. I said, your behavior says you're married or you're in a relationship. You only call me at night. You won't text me. You won't call me back during the day. You only want to go out on certain days at certain times. No, not going to do it. Not going to do it.
Yeah, that's a red flag right there.
Yeah.
That's definitely a red. Yeah, so that's not good when that happens. So what, we see all this going on out there. What advice do you have for your seniors that want to go out and date? What advice should it be for safety wise? What advice would you give them?
Well, one of the key things is to take your time. Don't rush into anything. We may be on the last quarter of our life. Hopefully we'll live to be 100. But still take your time. Take your time. Get to know the person. As they used to tell us, there's more fishes in the sea.
Yeah.
We all are living longer now. And so knowing what it is you want in the first place. what you're looking for, what you desire. That's the key thing. Because if someone, like, I like to travel. If someone doesn't want to travel, that's not going to work. Because I like to travel all over the world. I've touched every continent on the world. I'm a big time traveler. If you can't travel with me, it's not going to work.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's just not going to work.
Okay.
And then, are they consistent? You know, you just have to look and take your time and know what it is you desire. I desire a Christian man that's practicing his faith. I'm not necessarily every Sunday go to church person, but I do like the fellowship of church. I like to pray. I like to read my Bible. So if someone's not doing those things, it's not going to work. So you have to know who you are, what the desires of your heart are, and then take your time and see if this person is really who they say they are. Some of my friends say I'm pretty bold, but when I go and I meet somebody at Starbucks, I pull out my driver's license. I say, this is who I am. Let me see your driver's license. Are you who you say you are?
Ooh.
Yeah.
The reason why, I'm glad you said that. When I was single, okay, y'all hear that? When I was, I met somebody at a place for coffee. So I go in the place, I'm looking for that person. I don't see that person nowhere around. They shared a picture, and I didn't see that person at all. So I'm getting ready to leave. I hear this lady say my name. I turn around, look. She said, "Are you Ron?" I said, "Yes, I am." She said, "I'm so and so." I said, "Wait a minute. You don't look nothing like your picture." She said, "That's a picture of my daughter. I figure if I showed you my picture, you wouldn't want to go out with me." I said, "Well, you're right about that, because I don't want to go out with you now."
Yeah.
If you had to do that, you know, I think the hardest thing for people to do, and this is easiest said, just be yourself.
Exactly.
Be yourself. Show yourself. Let everybody know who you are. Be proud of who you are, and love yourself first. If you got to put somebody else picture up there because you think nobody's gonna like you or anything like that, then you're not gonna find anybody.
Right. That's a lie. That's
Yeah.
a lie. It's starting the whole thing off on a lie.
Mm-hmm.
And so you want to be honest, and you need to know who you are. And if you have that kind of a low self-esteem, go get some therapy. You know, therapy is very affordable these days. And therapy is different from coaching. I do coaching. Coaching is where you say, okay, you got certain things going on. It's about the now and the future. The therapy is you got some things going on related to your past, and you want to try and resolve some of those things from your past. So go talk to a therapist, you know, and find out what happened in your childhood that makes you so insecure.
Yeah.
You know, or maybe you've had some kind of trauma as an adult and it's still affecting you. Maybe you thought you dealt with it, but you didn't. So therapy helps in that situation because, again, being the partner you desire, do you want someone that lies to you, or do you want someone that has integrity and honesty?
Yeah, because when you start off with a lie, you got to continue to tell lies.
Yeah.
All right, we come down to the closing of this. Anything you want to let everybody know, how to get a hold of you and all the other good stuff?
Sure. Well, I have several ways. First of all, my website, SeniorSeekingSoulmate.com. You can get the book there, or you can get the book on Amazon. You can DM me at Senior Seeking Soulmate on Facebook. I have a email, Dr. Dr. Smith at SeniorSeekingSoulmate.com. I have TikTok, where it's a senior love coach. I also have a TV show. It's Setting It Off Senior Style on the African American Network, where you have ways you can contact me through there on Facebook. Healthbizdoc at gmail.com is another email that people can do. And then, email, website, Facebook.
You got it all covered.
Trying to.
All covered. Well, Dr. Smith, we appreciate you coming in, taking the time out today, coming in and talk to us about that. So curiosity done hit everybody, and I'm pretty sure, I don't know why it is, after the show, that's when people hit me up. When's she coming back? Why you could call in. Matter of fact, you can start calling in. The next show, we're doing it every 2 weeks. The call-in number is 210-461-8655. 8034. So make sure you come on out. Hope I said that number right. I gotta reach over and get my card. I always get one number mixed up on it. It was right. Woo, 8034. That's it. So just come on out. Dr. Smith, once again, we appreciate you coming out and taking your time out, talk to everybody. And we're going to work on that dating game. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's get that together. All right, everybody. Please go to our YouTube page, WSAN Radio SA.